Peace, everybody. This is Minister Jew back with some new information in regards to this whole P.Diddy buying the Carolina Panthers. We're going to jump right into this thing. In order to start, we have to go back to October 10th, 2017, when Diddy made his proclamation / affirmation that he would love to own a NFL team. In fact, he said that it's always been a dream of his, but as he saw Colin Kaepernick going through, the situation with him kneeling, he came and spoke out on the behalf of the brother and talked about how, maybe we should start our own league, and then he took it a step further and dreamed even bigger and said, you know what, bump that. I'm going to buy the entire NFL. Now, a lot of people, when they heard Diddy say that or hear people talk with such ambition, they charge him off as crazy. They say they just, a bunch of wishful thinkers. But what we soon come to find out when we understand how to apply this quantum dynamic, and it can go from the most basic to the most grandest thing that your heart can possibly desire, we see that nothing's impossible. Now, from this, we have to fast forward to December 17th, 2017, where the Carolina Panthers owner, Mr. Jerry Richardson, has had a bunch of allegations come out against him dealing with his sexual misconduct. Now, we've seen and heard a lot of this over the last 45 days or so with Russell Simmons and Tavis Smiley as of late. And, it's nothing new. It's been going on for a while. We've seen a lot of other high-power execs have these allegations brought forth on them, and Jerry Richardson is of no exception. But here, what we have to ask ourselves is this question. Is it a coincidence that P. Diddy would come out and say he's always had the dream of owning an NFL team, and then 2 months later, the opportunity to purchase an NFL team becomes very much a reality? Now, some people won't be able to connect the dots to this and say, oh, well, it's just a coincidence. But guess what? The selling of NFL franchises is very, very rare. Doesn't happen often at all. And what we come to find out when we understand how quantum physics and quantum consciousness actually works, we find out that everything is connected. And this is the level that I like to teach on. The racism issues are prominent. They are worthy of the conversation being had. But when you step up to another level of mentalism, you start to understand that you move past race and you start to get into thought. You start to get into emotion. You start to get into the things that are actually the causation of life, specifically imagination and dreaming big and having grand visions. These are the things that we play tug of war with every day, and this is why things change every day. The status quo gets tested every day. Things rise, things fall all the time because of people tugging and pulling on ideals, okay? So 2 months later, Diddy is now saying, hey, I want to purchase the Carolina Panthers. And when we understand the laws of observation, when we study quantum physics, we know that our observation counts. What it is that we think, what it is that we feel, what it is that we envision for ourselves actually is a co-creator with the building blocks of what we call nature via atoms, protons, photons, electrons, etc., which actually are the building blocks for the reality that we live in. This may be a loftier type of science for some people to be able to process, but I try to make it as simple as I can when I'm talking about it so that it can reach you, so that you can apply it. Diddy is showing on a grand scale for people who are watching the laws of manifestation at work and understanding how it doesn't matter what it takes for your goal to be realized. Every moving part, every possibility, which is a keyword in quantum physics, infinite possibilities. There's a plethora of ways things can manifest themselves. All you have to do is stay true to the vision and hold strong to your convictions about what it is that you're choosing to manifest. All right. So it's just not wishful thinking. It's actually mechanics involved, right? How often are you doing your visualizations? How often are you repeating your affirmations? These things become important. But in this case, Diddy is not giving up all of the game. I know I've heard him talk about his spirituality in other interviews and whatnot, but he understands these principles on some level, and it's obvious. Now, me, Minister Jew, I teach the layman, the 9-to-5 worker, the small business LLC, people who are trying to find and grab a better quality of life, utilizing the principles of quantum physics and quantum consciousness, coupled with imagination and visualization, because that's how you tear the door down to the quantum field. So, lastly, what I want to talk about is the interference patterns that you will see approach you as you start to engage this type of phenomenon, which Diddy is experiencing as well. You see that, people coming out, cracking jokes, making it seem like it's all, it's just a jokester type of thing, saying, somebody else please come and buy the Carolina Panthers before Diddy buys it. And then you got TV reporters coming out talking about he's a drunk and he's an alcoholic and he's smoking weed and blunts and all of this type of stuff. You're going to get the opposition. People call it, in our terms, they call it, just criticism. But criticism, right, is another form of what we call a trough in quantum physics, or hating for no apparent reason. Really no good reason to be critiquing, but choosing to do so anyway. That's hating. And so what we learn in quantum physics is we have crests and we have troughs, the top of the wave, the bottom of the wave. When these two things meet, they cancel each other out and they create darkness. So when people come on and try to do ridicule sorcery and trough energy is amongst a person, really what they're doing is they're trying to cancel out the wave, the top crest wave of P.Diddy, the positivity, the vision that he's seeking to come to fruition. They're trying to cancel it out with all of that commentary, all of that energy being directed toward him that's in opposition of what it is that what he's working on. So anybody that wants to see Diddy win, you need to lend your energy to that particular situation and see him being the owner of the Carolina Panthers. See the Carolina Panthers being successful, winning Super Bowls under the ownership of P.Diddy Combs, right? And the other investors that are involved. Take it to the next level where we elevate each other and lift each other up to do things for the culture, to push the envelope forward of diversity, etc., etc. So with that, people who are interested in learning this phenomenon, for me, I experience what it is that I talk about. I'm just not talking or trying to work up a workable philosophy of life. I've actually experienced this phenomenon myself, from my level of understanding. I just bought me a brand new home, just bought me a brand new Jaguar car. And it's not to brag, it's just to show and prove, because people need the evidence. They need to see it. Because there's so much information and people are spreading so much data. Some of it is fluff, and we need to know what's real and what's not. And so I like to show and prove by showing people what they can see with their own two eyes as a result from the manifestations that I've created, and my members. All the time I'm posting videos, posting testimonials. You scroll down this page, you'll see testimonials from Kemet Eugene Price, Kiwanis Bailey, Nikki Builder, Asia, a bunch of people who have been in these memberships and are still active in these memberships, who are still getting some of the best results they've ever had in their life utilizing these quantum principles. So if you want to learn these principles, visit the website theimaginationguru.com. Click on the memberships tab, either quantum imaging or quantum scriptures. We get into the biblical narrative to show how these things are ancient principles of manifestation, been around for a while. And we also do business coaching. So if you're interested in utilizing this information to boost your business sales or expand your brand, etc., we can teach you these principles because we have a working model. We had 4.5 million in collective testimonials, and this just comes from the layman. These aren't famous people. These are people who work every day and put it to the grind for their families, for themselves, to live a better life. So imagine what we can create and what can be done with people who have more assets and more resources to grow this thing, and, to become much more successful. So with that, visit the website again, and it was a pleasure for me to drop this wisdom on you guys. See you on the next video. Peace.